Hello everyone and welcome to the Armband. I'm your host Chris, and as always Kieran is here with me too. How are you doing today, Geek?
Better than last week, so that's a plus.
I saw you're on a green arrow.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
You should be happy, very happy. All right, it's been a bit of a disaster, I think, generally, game week 2. So we're going to try and put that aside, but we've got lots of transfer planning to do. So in today's show, we're going to have a quick look at our scores from game week 2. And then after that, there's been a whole heap of injuries. Saka, Palmer, Ait-Nouri, high-owned players are out. So we're going to talk about best potential replacements for each of those. And then we're going to round off the show by talking about whether Wildcard should be coming up into our thinking, and if so, like really which players at the moment are good long-term picks for a Wildcard. So yeah, let's jump into it. And go on, you can go first since you got the green arrow this week.
52 points total. It's a million green arrow, which in most cases will be good, but it's from 8.7 million to 7.7 million. So, the first of many greens, hopefully. So, but my team was in a bit of a shambles with the injury. So, but yeah, 52 points. Looked like an idiot for not starting Dubravka. Went for the better defense in the better fixture, I thought, but yeah, that didn't work out. So, if I had played him, 58 points would have been a really good green arrow this week, but never mind. I was the one who played Porro. I'm kind of annoyed that part of the Palmer situation happened because most people benched him. But I got Anderson off the bench for 4 points with defensive contribution. Not too bad, I suppose. I bought in Dorgu from Frimpong, which was kind of a little bit left field, but I liked the next few fixtures. Thought they might clean against Fulham. And his liked his attacking potential. But yeah, nothing really happened there, unfortunately. And I should have just gone for the obvious Arsenal defender. Obviously, their fixtures coming up are not great, but this week it would have been good. Calafiori, Timber, for God's sake, 24 points. That would have been insane. But yeah, he wasn't even starting before Ben White got injured. I think, was it in the warm-ups as well or something? So I don't know. But yeah, that's another injury. So that's probably going to make Timber a really good pick again. So yeah, overall having João Pedro good, Bert's disappointing, Bruno disappointing with a penalty miss. I could see him missing as soon as I saw him just like hit the thing, and he just looked pissed off and was waiting, and just it wasn't good. Fulkrug goal disallowed was looking quite good, I thought, until he came off at halftime. So I'm not sure if that's actually. Yeah, I don't know if that was injury related or just. I don't know, to be honest. I thought he looked all right, so not really sure why that happened. I actually hadn't realised Wilson had got minutes in week 1. So, yeah, that is starting to look like a worry. Might be looking at getting rid of him soon. And, yeah, that's basically it. So, 52 points, decent green, and hopefully you can keep going.
It was the Pedro. Yeah, it was nice. So, I ended on 39. I think what's come back to bite me, like I said to you when I was messaging you yesterday, like not having, just basically the decision to have Wirtz over Pedro and maybe even to a lesser extent Gakpo has just like set me back so much, and now he's dropped in price as well. But a lot of people have been affected by that. I ended on 39, which was basically like a score if you didn't have Pedro this week. Like you, unlike you, I have Salah and captained him, so was lucky probably to get that return. He's just leaving it late every week, isn't he?
I couldn't believe it, man. Like 2 weeks, like 90 plus 3 last week, and then 90 plus 10 this week. It's like, I'm just like, the part of my reason for not going with him because he just hasn't looked good, has he? Like, and then he's just got these 2 just jamming things at the end of the game. It's just like, oh my God.
I know.
But so annoying.
It is. It is like, it's obviously good for me, but I can see why that's so frustrating. But I think what's more like, maybe not a surprise, but given the preseason form, it's like how he is effectively, he's the 3rd highest scorer in that Liverpool attack after attacking Gakpo. So he's definitely not proving his value at the moment. But he's got some good games after this Arsenal on the horizon just to sort of reassess maybe before Wildcard, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But yeah, otherwise the game was pretty eventful. Started Agdebu, 4 points. Porro came on for Palmer, but lots of people, like you say, got Anderson off the bench. I didn't fancy the double up with Burnley, but Steve got me the clean sheet. So yeah, it was all right. But I think if you didn't have Pedro this week, it was pretty much a red arrow because it was such a high score in a sea of pretty like middling, like 4 to 6 point game week, really.
Yeah, a well-owned player as well.
Yeah, an Arsenal player. Cool. Right, let's get on to where we can go from here, because it seems like Saka's going to be out, and Palmer. The news today on Tuesday was that he's had the scan, doesn't look as bad. He's been doing training on his own, but we're not sure yet if he's going to be risked for the weekend, which to me doesn't sound that positive, like what's come out, because he's got a double or two international breaks to come after this. Why would it kind of would make sense given how well Chelsea have been played against West Ham? Why would not just give them 3 weeks off, or effectively about 4 weeks off? So yes, let's talk about potential replacements for him and Saka, because both of them well owned.
Yeah, so obviously Saka, a bit of a shame because he was looking good in that game. To be honest, I thought there was more points in that for him, and unfortunate being the owner and obviously captaining him as like a differential with going nomium. So yeah, big shame. Hopefully he's not an injury-prone player now, because that's his hamstring twice in the last whatever it is now. Not ideal. Hopefully it's not in the same leg and it's just like the other one or something. Palm-wise, both issues definitely. He could have hauled in that game, but people were saying that they were robbed of a generational haul, and I'm not really sure about that. Like, it could have been completely different if he started. So, but anyway, the replacements. Semenyo right now, it's hard to look past the top scoring midfielder in the game at 7.2 million, 19% owned. So he's still fairly low owned. Fixtures are still decent. Tottenham away this week, Brighton at home, Newcastle at home, Leeds away, Fulham at home, Crystal Palace away. So not bad, to be honest. But again, like maybe not the best jumping on point this week because of like Tottenham away. In other seasons you'd be thinking that's a good time, but like this season they've had 2 clean sheets in a row. That's including away at City. So clearly they're better defensively. Are they going to keep 3 clean sheets in a row? Probably not. But at the same time, it makes me warier of buying a Semenyo this week.
I agree.
21 points so far is good. Second highest XG of all players at 1.92, which is only beaten by Haaland. Fixtures, as I said, look good. 1.92 XG is versus Elvin Nilsson's 0.29, and that is obviously a stark difference. And so maybe having the space behind the main striker has sort of made him become the goal threat, I suppose. And I think Cliver is basically nearly back. So is Cliver going to be taking up those spaces, and sort of Semenyo is going to go wider again? Like maybe. So I mean, maybe like if Cliver is about to come back and that does happen, then that's going to make Semenyo probably worse. I mean, not a bad pick still, but probably worse. So, but I do like him. Seems like he's on form, starting to become a bit more consistent, as I was talking about earlier this season. I mean, seems obvious, higher scoring player, but there you go.
That was the problem last season, though, wasn't it? That he was just too inconsistent for such a long period, and this season with that like additional price hike and what looked like a difficult first fixture to start put those people off. I'm still I think he's probably up there as a replacement. But you're right, this week seems like a really difficult jumping on point, and I'm not sure the fixtures after that, like Brighton I think will be difficult, Newcastle I think will be difficult. I think the next 3 are actually even though they're grey on the FDR, I think they're not like good haul games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you hauled against Liverpool. Had more chances to do all right in the last game. So then obviously the fixture that stands out, possibly for even captaincy this week, United versus Burnley at home. Bruno, Cunha, and Abramo all look like they should be good options this week at least. All 3 have played all the minutes so far. Enticing fixture, obviously. But then after that, if you're bringing them in and you're not free hitting or you're not wildcarding or whatever, they've got City and Chelsea after that, so not so great on the horizon for them. But then after that, they've got 2 good fixtures too. So all 3 could be worth a big upside shot this week if you wanted to go like seriously all in, like get all 3 of them on like a free hit or something. That could be fun.
Really? You're crazy. Really? For United?
Maybe, but XG wise, Bruno, Cunha versus Abramo, so 0.97. That's probably because of the penalty. 0.78 for Cunha, and then Abramo 0.43. Shots wise, it's 4 versus 7 versus 5. Big chances 1 versus 1 versus 0. KP 6 versus 2 versus 3, and then 0 big chances created for all of them. So that's not great. XG is probably roughly 0.8 for the penalty. So Bruno's is probably roughly around 0.2. I've not actually looked
probably
at
not
non-pen XG, so not very high. Yeah, but then he is getting a few shots. He is getting couple big chances, and he is good on key passes. So, yeah, he's still, I think, possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure. Cunha probably is the best one to go for, like higher XG, most shots. You think if anyone's going to get some points, it's probably going to be him before Mbeumo, because I think Mbeumo's just not been a bit wider, not so attacking like in the box area. So I think
he's had some set pieces though, isn't he? Like
he a bit of a share of the set pieces, yes. So yeah, I think Cunha could be the one to get. Bruno, would he ever give up penalties for Cunha or Mbeumo? Who knows after that miss? But maybe it was just a one-off, just because of the situation of being bumped and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got here like it probably has to click eventually, and maybe this could be the game. Burnley at home. Yeah, Sesko, is he going to get his first start finally? Yeah, let's see. But Bruno, Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko front four. It's got to make some points and yeah, FPL points soon, right? So this could be the one for it. And yeah, I think a lot of people are going to start to look at Cunha and Mbeumo or Bruno this week for sure.
Just a quick tangent on that. I've just got the transfers in page up on the stream. So maybe not unsurprisingly, Cunha is like of all the three United players, Cunha's had the most transferred in. Then it's Mbeumo, then it's Bruno. As a Fernandes owner like me, obviously he could have had like an 11-point all if that penalty goes in. If he is off penalties now, I take it he's just like a totally dead option after Cunha and Mbeumo. Just from how he's been playing in open play at the moment, and I know it's only 2 games, doesn't look like that his open play involvement is that high at all, really. So, and if he's playing in central mid, he's obviously getting a DEFCON point, so maybe his like baseline would be like 3 or 4 points every week, depending on. I just don't know. I'm already getting a bit. It's only 2 weeks. I had him at the start of last season. I'm already a bit fed up with him and United already.
Yeah, it's wild speculation to say he might not be on penalties, but I mean, who knows? But yeah, if he isn't, then 9 million for Bruno is absolutely atrocious value.
Yeah, I
think so. Yeah, you'd have to get rid of him if that works out to be the case, and Cunha or Mbeumo take them, then yeah, Bruno is their pick, as you say.
Yeah, no. But then it's funny because at one point I'm looking at him thinking he looks like such bad value. He's basically just like a CM, well overpriced CM DEFCON, like doing worse than that Anderson. Exactly. Or maybe even if Douglas Luiz joins, yeah, he just looks poor. But then on the other side of it, I'm thinking Burnley this weekend. Bruno is like a fair captaincy option. So,
yeah. I mean, yeah, my team, I ain't really got many options, so maybe I have to go there to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so other ones like. I don't think many people are definitely looking at these two, but Alanga or Barnes or maybe Jacob Murphy, I guess. But yeah, the fixtures like this week looks good. Leeds are away, and then Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Arsenal, Forest, Brighton after that. Not so great, but those 3 in a row look pretty good for Newcastle. But obviously, Joelinton injury, Gordon banned for 3 games, Isak AWOL. Tonali injury, Shah concussion. Like there's some issues there for sure. They still haven't really bought a striker. I guess maybe that Asula might play now because Gordon's not there either. So exactly. So Alanga versus Barnes. Like I think it's possible someone you could go for. Like they still scored 2 against Liverpool despite having 10 men and no strikers, right? So that's a good sign at least. But so the 2 who've been starting so far on the wings, like shots 2 versus 3, so Barnes ahead there. XG of 0.57 versus 0.23, so Alanga ahead decently. Key passes 3 versus 5, big chances created 0 versus 2, and then XA of 0.12 versus 0.69. So, but yeah, it's kind of either or. I guess you could just go for either of them. Barnes probably has a bit more like pedigree in like Newcastle itself as a team. But Alanga has looked pretty good, pretty rapid. Has the previous with Forest. So, but Alanga, I think, probably has more risk for minutes due to Murphy being just sat on the bench at the moment. He may come in as well. Maybe Barnes or Alanga could go through the middle and Murphy come in on the right side. So, there's a lot to be worried about with them. I did see that Newcastle have got the best XGC in the league at the moment, so maybe Defender is worth looking at. But yeah, for these next 3 at least. yeah, there's worries on who's going to be playing in the attack and if they're going to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. Like because of the Saka and Palmer injuries in my team, I'm starting Goodmanson at home to Newcastle. So yeah, I mean, I kind of have to, I think. So let's see. I suppose with them, I don't have too much conviction that they're going to be scoring goals. So, but at the same time, they could.
I suppose for you then to summarize this like section, I suppose, because Saka looks like he's pretty likely going to be out, whereas Palmer is a maybe. What are you thinking in terms of transfer priority on all of the options you've mentioned?
So I think Saka has to go because he's 3 to 4 weeks out, definitely with the hamstring. Whereas Palmer could just miss one this weekend, and then he'll be back after the international break. Because it's probably like roughly 4 weeks of time that he probably only needs like 2. You'd expect if it's something that wasn't that bad and just can rest. So yeah, I'm thinking Palmer. I probably just stash on the bench for the time being, and then I sell Saka. And I probably have to look at Fulkrug out, someone like that as well, and maybe take a hit. But
the hit.
Yeah, I've got Fulkrug as well, which is a nightmare.
So you don't know quite yet who's at the top of your list in midfield.
Honestly, I'll talk about a possible wildcard picks as someone who I'm looking at more. So when we get on that,
all right, that was pretty comprehensive. We'll go on to defenders. Let's have a quick look here. I just want to change the screen up. So obviously it was a nightmare week for people that maybe went to Ait-Nouri from.
Yeah, I ideally did it.
You were like there on the show. You were thinking, right, I'm going to do it. Yeah, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. I don't think. So we'll just talk about team structure. Like you mentioned, I think the team at the top of the XGC, I think is surprisingly Newcastle because. They have played 2 tough games away at Aston Villa, then home to Liverpool with 10 men for like a half. Yet they're like almost like 0.5 XGC ahead of all the other players. Livramento had like a really good start to the season. I think did he get an assist in assist against Liverpool last night, and I think he got DEFCON in the. Oh no, he got bonus. That was it. He got bonus against
9 of 4 so far. So pretty good. Yeah,
and only 5 million. I think he looks tidy. And like you mentioned, the fixtures are good. Leeds away, Wolves at home, and Bournemouth away. And I've been thinking about doing a free hit in game week 4. I think he looks good for that, and even for the longer term, he looks nice. So yeah, Newcastle definitely impressed me. It goes without saying that Arsenal wants to be looked at. Like I think we avoided them because of that Man United away fixture. Perhaps we definitely shouldn't have. I think the surprise for them is it's Timber and Calafiori who've got the points.
Yeah.
Just wing backs in the team, or left, but they invert. But neither of them have played like a full 90 minutes, but both have still managed to get 3. And I think Timber.
I think Timber's goals are like basically just from corners that could have been just been Gabriel or Saliba as well. It could have been any of them. It's just happened to fall to him.
Exactly. So I don't think either of them are like really good transfers in, to be honest, from like a long-term point of view. And obviously the entry point this week sucks because it's Liverpool away, but Forest in game week 4 is nice and their fixtures get a lot better from game week 7. But I kind of think if I was going to go for them, I would still stick with Saliba or Gabriel. So I had a quick look at how the DEFCONs are affecting them. So Saliba so far has averaged 9 DEFCON per game. Gabriel's only just done 5. So let's say they both play the remaining 36 games. And we know that Gabriel is stronger from set pieces and goal involvement. So I tried to work out roughly how that might play out. So let's say Saliba gets 8. Let's say every other game he's going to get DEFCON because he's working out like slightly that average now. So that's going to get him an extra 36 points per season, and he had 2 goals last season. So let's just add 12 to that. So he's scoring 48, basically extra points to his standard appearance and clean sheet points. Gabriel, let's say he gets 6 based on the fact that he's only managing 5. It's got to be quite big spikes for him to get that, and even that I think is generous. So he's going to get 12 DEFCON points over the season. Last season he had 3 goals, 2 assists, which is a whopping 24 points. So that the too long didn't read version of that is Saliba looks like he's going to get 48 additional points through DEFCON and attacking returns, whereas Gabriel will only get 36. Which when I looked at that, I was quite surprised at, because I think it's obviously less likely for a defender to continue their attacking output, centre back anyway, even in this Arsenal team, whereas I think the DEFCON probably is going to be more reliable as a floor. So I wouldn't have said that at the start of the season, and maybe I need a few more weeks to come around to that decision, but even before we get to a potential Arsenal defender in for maybe game week 7 onwards, at the moment Saliba looks like the pick over Gabriel. And then just on other defender replacements you might want to go in on early, despite the fact that we knew Tarkowski was going to be a good DEFCON beast, he's only 7% owned. He's had DEFCON in both of his games so far. He's got 12 points off the back of that. He has a great run of fixtures too. Wolves, Aston Villa, Liverpool away game, which, again, could be a DEFCON game. West Ham and Crystal Palace both at home. So I think he seems like a really tidy replacement if you need to go down from Ait-Nouri. And then finally, if you want to unlock more funds, like a nice 4.5 million is Sensei, who's got DEFCON in both of these games so far. He's only 1.5% owned. I think he's got a good run of fixtures perhaps after this week. So Brighton at home, Newcastle at home, and then it's Leeds away, and then Fulham at home. So I think there's 2 different price points there for options. If you haven't got a Spurs defender now, I think they're obviously good too, and these ones lead the way. So that I'm probably not saying anything surprising. Munoz obviously did well this game week, but I would probably look at the longer term view and just pick one of the Arsenal defenders, just because Liverpool are not doing it at the moment, and City perhaps are going to continue to be leaky this season with a lot of players out still.
Calafiori too risky. He's had 63 and 71 minutes. But he's got 13 and 13 in 2 games.
It's crazy.
So,
but I think is it Anwari who can play there? So I think there's competition at that left back, and I know White's out for a bit, like you say now, so maybe Timber will get more secure minutes, but there's always that threat, and their fixtures immediately for Arsenal are not great. With Liverpool away, City at home, and Newcastle away in 3 of the next 4. But it's game week 7 where they start to go on a nice run.
Yeah, got to get them in then for sure.
Definitely. Well, all right, just before we finish then, let's talk about Wildcard a little bit and what options, because, you and I we've not had good starts, have we? Let's be honest. It's been piss poor.
Really due to bad teams. I think just most of the players are just the normal sort of people who score points are just not doing it. So,
I'm kind of looking at all the players who I have picked are getting transferred out, which makes them more of a differential. So I'm going with bouncing back. I look at my team for this game week and I just think it looks great. It looks looks really strong. I've got nice strikers at home, apart from double Liverpool, maybe Verts at home to Arsenal. I like the rest of my team this game week. So I don't think it justifies a wildcard this week, but for those that might have already been fed up enough, I thought it'd be useful to talk about, and also maybe for us if we're looking at game week wildcard 4. So obviously this is probably reinforced a little bit by the fact that Palmer might be out. Saka, if you had him, looks like he's going to be out, so there's the opportunity to spread funds. I don't know, who do you think, if we were going to wildcard this week or even next, look like they should be primed to be in your team?
So there's 2 cheapy mids, or cheapish. 6.5 million for Saar, and then there's 6.6 million for Kudus. Saar at 4.9%, so under 5% own, and then Kudus is at 30%, which bit of a shock to me, but fair enough. So points wise so far, 10 versus 13, XG 0.23 versus 0.06, and then the next day of 0.05 versus 0.67. So Kudus looks like he's going to be assisting more goals, whereas Star is kind of almost playing like a striker next to Mateta, so he's going to be a goal threat, which I think is maybe good and bad in terms of Sar's XA being so low and him being a goal threat, which means who is creating chances in that Palace team? I generally have no idea. I think Munoz maybe, but he's not fully going to be getting assists every week. No. I don't think he could be sort of a goal threat from the wing back position, but there's Hughes, Devaney, who is assisting in that team? There's no one.
No.
Wharton can be quite good, I guess, with set pieces, but other than that, it's just I'm really worried about their potential for goals. But I also do like Saar with the fact that he's scoring goals and he's under 5% owned and his fixtures are good. So fixtures are good for both of them, to be honest. Villa, Sunderland, West Ham, Liverpool, Everton, Bournemouth for Palace, and then Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Wolves, Leeds, Villa. Spurs fixtures are really good for attacking point of view, at least. But at the same time, I'm looking at Kudus and thinking, how many returns is he actually going to get? Is he going to get enough goals? Are they going to buy a 10? Are they going to buy a winger? What's going to happen to his minutes in that situation? I think he's nailed on, but is he going to start to get them coming down a bit? Possibly. So I don't know. There's something about Kudus where I'm just I'm not sure, Whereas Sard did kind of burn me last season, but at the same time he got a good amount of attacking returns last season, and maybe he's the one that steps up just to be able to do everything in that team, I suppose. But what do you think about those two?
Yeah, I had Sard for a little bit in pre-season, and I like him, but I was a bit surprised at the weekend at seeing Forest at like 60% possession, and Glasner after the game sort of bemoaning a little bit, saying, "Oh, if we've got no one at centre back, I'm going to play there because it looks like Gahey's going to go." I think they had like 2 goalkeepers on the bench and 2 academy products.
They need to buy someone quick. They should have the Eze money. Like, what are they waiting for?
I know. So
and at least money. Did they even spend that?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. It just feels like they haven't. I'm a bit worried about them, but especially with Europe starting, they've got like 2 really nice looking fixtures on the horizon. I think it's Sunderland at home, and then it's
West Ham away.
West Ham. Oh, okay. Yeah. So those are nice, but they're compounded with Aston Villa away and Liverpool at home. I don't know. I was kind of hot on them going into this game week. I thought they'd win against Forest easily, and then let Forest have like 60% of the ball. And all of the uncertainty around Gahey as well. I just feel like the squad's kind of falling apart a little bit. Mateta seems like a bit overpriced with no service. I think Sarr's fine. Lacroix seems fine for DEFCON. But yeah, I'm coming off them a little bit after thinking they were going to be really good. But on the flip side of that, I'm really hot on Spurs. I think Frank's made an instant impact. You didn't mention him, but I
know you like Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Johnson for this week. Like he's not great for like a 90-minute person, but he's played 79 and 77. Doesn't look like he's got much competition on the left wing apart from it. I think it's Tell who's been coming on for him, but he's got 2 goals in 2 games. He's got 11 goals last season, so he obviously knows how to score. The fixtures for Spurs are good, like long term. Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Wolves, Leeds, Aston Villa, Everton. There's like nothing in there that would really like scare you. I had a bad time owning him last year. I only owned him for like 1 or 2 game weeks and he did nothing, but that was last year. And
do you think he stays nailed on if they buy like Savinho or someone like that?
Probably he'll have more rotation. Probably still be first choice just, but yeah, I think a lot does depend on the transfer deadline wrapping up. But I like Johnson. I think he's good and he's a nice price. It might be who I get for Palmer if he's out this week.
There's Richarlison as well. Like no one's really mentioning him, and like I think Frank said that like Richarlison is number 9 right now, and he's not played badly so far. And what's his name? Thingy is not getting anywhere near it. Solanke's not getting nowhere near. So yeah, like he could be a good option too. Like those fixtures from attacking potential are great. Like
I expect
you probably need an attacker in that team.
Yeah, I expect he's probably on penalties as well because he used to take them for Spurs. But he a bit like Johnson have just like reduced minutes. Yeah,
and then finally I'm thinking about Rodgers. Like I know this seems like a kind of strange pick, but like the fixtures are so good. Like Crystal Palace at home this week, which doesn't seem great from attacking potential, and just because Palace have been quite good defensively. But then Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, Burnley, Tottenham, like that's great. Like 2 of the promoted teams, Fulham at home, Everton away. Like, yeah, I like it. So, yeah, him and Watkins have obviously done nothing, but I think they're probably buys rather than the sells just because they're eventually going to come good. Like Emery's such a good manager that he's going to make some tweaks and they're going to start doing better. So, yeah, 1.44 XG as a team is 18th overall, not good, but 0.12 actually puts him outside the top 50 for XG of all mids, which is obviously not great. But McNeil, Odegaard, Hutchinson, even Foden, who've managed about 30 minutes in 2 games, have managed more XG than he has. So it's a bit of a more of a historical pick from last year, but I think they're surely going to improve. And yeah, so maybe I'm looking at Rodgers this week as just a weird come in instead of like a Semenyo or Zara Cunha. It worries me in this fixture though, the Crystal Palace fixture.
Oh man, I think this is a good one.
Do you? Like, I don't know. Like, apparently they were pretty leggy at the end of that Forest game, and then that's when they let them back in. So, just because they're playing Thursday this week as well.
That's what I think.
Yeah, and their squad is so thin. So, yeah.
I really think this is the game that Watkins or Rodgers do. I think a lot of people were worried, like the Aston Villa fans, what they playing like McGinn, in like a midfield 3, and I forget who the other players are now, but there was like no creativity. But I think this game week, I really fancy them to, at least score against Palace. Yeah, you're right. They were leggy against Forest. I expect it's going to be twice as bad. We know the squad's thin. They will play a full squad again. I feel good about Palace, and I think it's mad. I just had a look at the transfers out page. I got it on the screen now. Watkins is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the 6th highest transfer player out. 291,000 sales.
Look at the fixtures. Come on.
You look at the fixtures at Crystal Palace, Everton away, Sunderland away, Fulham at home, Burnley at home. They played 2 of the promoted sides. They got no other forward. He's not going to not score, and he might have started the season badly, but this is like a player who's got like 16, 19, 15, 11 goals, 14 goals in the last like 6 or 5 seasons. He's like not forgotten how to score. He's played 90 minutes both games. He's going to return one of these game weeks, and I'm not going to be selling Watkins for Gyökeres this game week.
Definitely not this week.
Definitely
not. Yeah.
And then I suppose just finally on wildcard options, if you are doing it, what do you think about people or getting Haaland and Salah drafts now that, let's say, Palmer and or Saka and Wirtz and maybe Bruno, there's like 3 at least pricey mids that haven't been cutting it. Is there a way that you could maybe just have a Palmer?
Yeah, you basically do it.
Yeah,
I think, yeah,
a Salah, Haaland, and maybe like one of them, maybe the cheapest one, like I don't know, or Wirtz or Bruno in there, and just spread it, because we've got players now in the team or players like Semenyo, Johnson, who we weren't quite sure what their roles were going to be like. Dango maybe is like really outside, 6 million, playing like off the front line for Brentford. Whisper it quietly, but as a 7.5 million going to Arsenal, Saka's going to be out for a while. Why would he not?
Good point. Yeah,
Odegaard's Odegaard's out as well.
Eze.
Yeah, so Eze, like, he's only 7.5. He will absolutely start in that team. More like better players around him. Obviously, this week is not hot for him, but
maybe it could be like
it could be. Yeah,
Liverpool's defense.
Yeah,
crap.
True. They conceded conceded 4 goals in 2 games.
So, I thought Kirkus was like so suspect. He was a terrible defender. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, Arsenal's fixtures are not like hot, but only owned by 10% at the moment. Eze could be like really good if Odegaard's out for like a couple of weeks. Saka's out for
pieces too.
Yeah, so I think he could be a bit of a sleeper hit that no one's really talking about at the moment. So yeah, I think it's not a draft I'm gonna like work out for sure this week, but I'm definitely coming around to the idea that Pedro could cover Palmer, and
it's something I should consider, considering I've got Saka, Palmer, full crook. I've got a bit of a crooked team. Yeah.
And there's definitely ways to get around it. And I think this week is like if you didn't have the transfers, you could. Oh no, I was going to say last week, but you could almost like. News. What I was going to say, you would just probably do wildcard in game week 4 for Arsenal and Palace players if you're going to have any. But it's. Sorry, that's what I was going to try to say. Arsenal in like game week 4 wildcard, and then free hit maybe game week 5. When they've got a tough fixture, because you would probably triple up on them at that point for like the long run.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, cool.
I would rather not wildcard this week. I'd rather wildcard over the international break if I'm going to.
Same, and get a bit more information.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, should we leave it there after the wildcard picks?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, perhaps we'll be back on Thursday to share our teams. Ahead of game week 3. And more thoughts on captaincy then too.
Yep, nice one.
Cool. All right. Catch you all on the next one.
Yeah, cheers all.
Bye-bye.